Hello, my name is Yamari White, and today I'll be presenting an article on exercise training and cardiovascular health in people with type 1 diabetes. So the purpose of the study. This study examined how regular exercise affects cardiovascular health in people with type 1 diabetes. People with type 1 diabetes face a higher risk of heart disease due to poor blood glucose control. The researchers wanted to see if structured exercise programs could improve measures like VO2 max, heart rate, and blood pressure. The goal was to provide clear evidence for how exercise training benefits cardiovascular fitness in people with type 1 diabetes. The findings aim to help healthcare professionals design better exercise programs for this population. Research methods. The author conducted a systematic review and meta-analysis. They researched databases like Medline, InBase, CINAHL, and SportDiscuss for studies up to July 2018. Included studies had to last at least 8 weeks and measure cardiovascular outcomes before and after exercise. 14 studies with a total of 453 participants with type 1 diabetes were analyzed. Exercise programs included aerobic, resistance, and combined training lasting 8 to 24 weeks. Study quality was rated using the Pedro scale, and results were analyzed using a random effects meta-analysis model. Key findings. Exercise training led to significant improvements in cardiovascular health for people with type 1 diabetes. VO2 max increased by an average of 4.4, showing better aerobic fitness. Participants also showed lower resting heart rates and improved endothelial function. No major changes were found in blood pressure or cholesterol levels. Both aerobic and combined training were effective. Regular, moderate intensity exercise produced measurable cardiovascular benefits. Physiological benefits and explanations. Exercise increases insulin sensitivity, helping the body use glucose more efficiently. It boosts nitric oxide production, which relaxes and widens blood vessels for better circulation. Regular training reduces inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which damage the heart over time. These effects together improve endothelial function and lower strain on the cardiovascular system. Even moderate, consistent exercise can create strong long-term benefits for people with type 1 diabetes. Some challenges and barriers. Managing blood glucose during and after exercise can be difficult for people with type 1 diabetes. Physical activity increases muscle glucose use, which can lead to hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. Fear of hypoglycemia may discourage some individuals for exercising regularly. Education and support from healthcare providers are essential for safe participation, and trainers should teach clients how to adjust insulin and carbohydrate intake around exercise sessions. Individualized exercise plans. Exercise programs for people with type 1 diabetes should be personalized rather than one size fits all. Age, fitness level, diabetes duration, and complications affect how a person responds to training. Younger, well-controlled individuals may tolerate higher intensity exercise. Older adults or those with complications like neuropathy may need low impact options. Future studies should test different exercise types and intensities for specific patient groups. Future research directions. Many studies in the review lasted only a few months, so long-term effects remain unclear. Future research should include follow-ups to see if benefits last after training ends. More studies are needed to test whether exercise prevents real cardiovascular events in type 1 diabetes. New tools like continuous glucose monitors and fitness trackers could help manage exercise safely. Personalized data-driven programs may include adherence and long-term outcomes. Some study limitations. The number of available studies and participants was relatively small. Exercise programs differed in duration, frequency, and intensity, making comparisons harder. Outcome measures were inconsistent across the studies. Some estimated VO2 max instead of testing it. Few studies included long-term follow-ups to see if results maintained, and most participants were young and healthy, so results may not apply to older, high-risk individuals. Applications and implications for practice. Regular exercise significantly improves cardiovascular fitness in people with type 1 diabetes, helping reduce heart disease risk. Exercise programs should combine aerobic and resistance training for best results. Aerobic exercise, moderate intensity, at least 150 minutes per week, and resistance training 2 to 3 times per week to enhance muscular and cardiovascular benefits. Clinicians should monitor blood glucose levels before, during, and after exercise to prevent hypoglycemia. Patient education on carbohydrate intake, insulin timing, and recognizing hypoglycemia is crucial. Exercise is a powerful non-meditation strategy to improve cardiovascular health, quality of life, and long-term outcomes. Conclusion. The article shows that exercise training improves cardiovascular health in people with type 1 diabetes. That's the main thing. Some key benefits include increased VO2 max, better endothelial function, and modest improvements in heart rate. Both aerobic and combined training are effective. Limitations are small study sizes, variable exercise programs, inconsistent outcomes, and short follow-up periods. Implications: structured, individualized exercise programs with proper monitoring and patient education can reduce cardiovascular risk and enhance overall health in type 1 diabetes.